Imagine stepping into a world where crystal-clear waters hide ancient shipwrecks teeming with colorful fish. But that's not the surprise. The real shock is discovering that the Philippines, often painted by headlines as a land of typhoons and turmoil, is home to the world's oldest Chinatown, built in 1594, where Filipino-Chinese families have woven their culture into the nation's fabric for centuries, creating a vibrant economy that powers everything from bustling markets to high-tech businesses, all while the global spotlight misses this fusion of heritage and hustle that could redefine how you see this archipelago of over 7,000 islands. Stick around, because by the end, you'll uncover a secret innovation hub that's turning street smarts into global startups, proving this country isn't just surviving, it's secretly thriving in ways that could inspire the world. In the heart of Manila, beyond the chaotic traffic jams that dominate newsreels, lies Binondo, that ancient Chinatown where dragon dances mix with Catholic processions during Chinese New Year, and where merchants who've been trading for generations now run multi-million-dollar companies, influencing everything from real estate to retail. Yet this cultural powerhouse rarely makes international headlines, overshadowed by political dramas. Walk through its narrow streets, and you'll smell sizzling siopao buns alongside adobo, a testament to how Chinese immigrants integrated so deeply that many Filipinos today have mixed ancestry, speaking fluent Tagalog with a hint of Hokkien, and attending schools where Mandarin classes are as common as English ones, fostering a bilingual generation ready for global trade. But venture outside the capital, and the media's blind spot grows even larger. Take the rural provinces, where farmers in places like Mindanao aren't just battling floods, but building community cooperatives that turn coconut husks into eco-friendly products exported worldwide, creating jobs in areas once dismissed as impoverished backwaters. These quiet revolutions, like solar-powered irrigation systems installed by local inventors, are cutting water waste by half and boosting rice yields, allowing families to send kids to college instead of the fields. Yet stories like these get buried under sensational reports of natural disasters. Meanwhile, in Cebu, a city often reduced to beach postcards, tech entrepreneurs are coding apps that connect fishermen directly to buyers, skipping middlemen and increasing incomes by 30%, turning smartphones into lifelines for coastal communities that the world assumes are stuck in the past. This digital leap isn't hype, it's real, with young coders in co-working spaces hacking solutions for everything from traffic apps to telemedicine, linking remote islands to doctors in Manila, and saving lives during storms that would otherwise isolate them. And speaking of islands, Palawan's underground river, a UNESCO wonder, hides more than natural beauty. Local tribes like the Tagbanua manage it sustainably, using ancient knowledge to protect mangroves that shield against erosion, a model of indigenous wisdom that global environmentalists are starting to copy. But you won't hear about it amid climate change doom scrolls. Shift to the economy, and the untold narrative explodes. Despite corruption scandals that grab clicks, like the trillion-peso flood control fiasco sparking protests in over 20 cities, there's a grassroots movement where ordinary Filipinos are fighting back through transparency apps that track government spending in real time, empowering citizens to hold officials accountable and recover stolen funds. In Baguio's cool highlands, coffee farmers are forming alliances with international buyers, exporting beans that rival Colombian varieties, with fair trade deals ensuring profits stay local and fund schools, a far cry from the poverty porn media loves to peddle. Down south in Davao, durian orchards aren't just fruit farms. They're agro-tourism spots, where visitors learn organic farming, boosting rural incomes and preserving biodiversity, as families blend traditional methods with modern tech like drone monitoring to combat pests without chemicals. But the media skips these wins, focusing on conflicts, missing how peace-building in former rebel areas, through programs like road constructions under the Barangay Development Program, connects isolated villages to markets, ending decades of strife and letting kids attend school without fear of crossfire. Picture a classroom in a once remote barangay, now buzzing with students learning coding alongside farming. A hybrid education that's producing the next wave of innovators who could solve global food shortages. Culturally, the Philippines pulses with hidden rhythms. The jeepney, that colorful Witu relic turned public transport icon, is evolving into electric versions designed by local engineers, reducing pollution in smoggy cities while preserving artistic flair with hand-painted murals depicting folklore heroes. Festivals like the Ati-Atihan aren't tourist traps, but living traditions where communities honor saints with street dances that blend indigenous beats with Spanish influences, fostering unity in diverse neighborhoods. And in the arts scene, underground filmmakers in Quezon City are producing documentaries on migrant workers' resilience, stories of mothers sending remittances that build entire villages back home. Yet these tales of quiet heroism get overlooked for celebrity gossip. Overseas Filipino workers, numbering millions, aren't just statistics. They're architects of change, funding scholarships that lift families out of poverty, with their kids becoming doctors and entrepreneurs, closing the wealth gap one wired dollar at a time. Socially, challenges exist, like plastic-clogged rivers in Manila breeding health issues. But communities are countering with volunteer cleanups and upcycling initiatives, turning waste into art and building materials, inspiring youth-led movements that the press ignores for flashier protests. In slums, resilience shines through cooperatives where residents pool resources for solar lights and community gardens, transforming eyesores into self-sustaining hubs, proving that hope blooms even in concrete jungles. Educationally, while headlines decry shortages, hidden gems like Chinese schools in Manila offer top-tier bilingual programs, producing graduates who excel in business and diplomacy, bridging East and West in ways that strengthen the nation's global stance. Health innovations, too, fly under the radar. Herbal medicine research in universities is reviving ancient remedies for modern ailments, like using lagundi leaves for coughs, now backed by science and exported as supplements. Environmentally, marine protected areas in Bohol are safeguarding coral reefs, where divers spot rare sea turtles and local fishers enforce no-take zones, boosting fish stocks and tourism revenues that fund conservation. These efforts counter the narrative of destruction, showing a proactive nation healing its seas. In sports, grassroots basketball leagues in barrios nurture talents who dream of NBA glory, with community courts built from recycled materials fostering teamwork and steering youth from trouble. Music scenes in underground bars blend hip-hop with folk, rapping about social justice in Taglish, amplifying voices the mainstream silences. Looking ahead, the Philippines' youth, armed with social media savvy, are debunking disinformation that plagues elections, using fact-checking bots to promote informed voting, a digital defense against fake news that's more effective than any law. Renewable energy projects, like wind farms in Ilocos, are powering homes sustainably, reducing blackouts and creating green jobs, positioning the country as a Southeast Asian leader in clean tech. Amid colonial legacies of inequality, modern reforms like land cooperatives are redistributing wealth, empowering indigenous groups to reclaim ancestral lands for eco-farming. The fusion cuisine scene, mixing adobo with sushi rolls in fusion eateries, symbolizes cultural adaptability, attracting foodies worldwide. Volunteer groups in typhoon-prone areas Build resilient homes from bamboo, earthquake-proof and flood-resistant, saving lives quietly. In biotech, labs in Los Baños engineer drought-resistant rice, combating climate change head-on. Street artists in Intramuros paint murals of unsung heroes, from freedom fighters to modern activists, educating passers-by on forgotten history. Gaming communities develop apps preserving folklore, turning myths into interactive adventures for global audiences. Mental health initiatives in schools teach coping skills, breaking stigmas in a society once silent on the issue. As the sun sets over Manila Bay, reclaimed from pollution through community efforts, it illuminates a nation not defined by its struggles, but by its unyielding spirit, innovative minds, and communal bonds. A modern Philippines bursting with potential, waiting for the world to see beyond the headlines. And that secret innovation hub? It's everywhere, from garage startups to island labs, proving that in this archipelago, the real story is one of hidden strength, ready to emerge and astonish.